for your brother. Play for your brother. We all we got. We always need. Play hard. Play smart. Defense, special teams. If it don't matter, blue jersey on. Play that.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy T.Smith here. We are doing a separate segment of the Football Heads podcast. This is just going to be ATP, all things PATS. Y'all already saw all things blue. You saw all things Lions. Now it's time for the Patriots. It's time for, the real home team behind the home team. So I had to call in the heaviest hitter I know in the Patriot land. I say again, the heaviest hitter I know in the Patriot land. My guy, Rob. What's going on, big dog?
What's good? What's good? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. What? I'm just off script. I'm so excited for everything I'm seeing from this team. Again, literally not a single analyst had us looking the way we are looking. They did not have us at any point in time being number one in the division. So just how are you feeling right now?
I mean, I'm excited, but like everybody's saying, I want to see what happens when it starts getting tougher, because obviously we got a pretty damn good opponent coming up. I know that they don't really put up points on offense, but that defense is scary. You got guys like Garrett, who's rushing the passer and he's averaging like a 39-40% win rate. So he's going to get to the quarterback, and it's not even just him on the offense, the defensive line. It's also Collins, who actually has a 2% higher win rate at 41%. So they got guys that are on opposites, and these guys don't just line up on one side of the defensive line. Garrett transfers from whatever, so I think he's going to go with whatever he feels he's going to give him the highest win rate. So he can go on left, he can go on right, and Collins on the interior can do just as much as the same. So, yeah.
So as you mentioned that, it's clear that we still have quite a few holes or gaps to fill. There are some people that are saying go out and rent a player. There are other people that are thinking long term. But I just want to get your thoughts. What kind of trade or trades are you expecting the Pats to make by the deadline?
I mean, Albert Breer came out and said the Patriots don't want to give up future picks for a short-term fix. But the players like Chris Olave, Jordan Addison would qualify as long-term moves. My biggest thing is this. I kind of under the same belief. This is a team that's not one piece away, and they want to build some type of farm system, or if they're going to go out there and get a guy, it's got to be a guy that's younger. I understand Chris Olave, but his concussions scare the hell out of me. Jordan Addison, I could get around Jordan Addison, but it's going to be, what is it going to cost? So names that I'm thinking of is Kayvon Thibodeau. We need some edge help. I think that we need to get guys that can really get to the passer. He's going to be on a club option, team option in 2026. And I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. The Giants are trending. I mean, they're trending up, but I think that they need more pieces around them. Also, another name to me, I mean, the Texans have too many holes. And I know he just signed a contract or re-upped a contract in March. I'm thinking Nico Collins. He's 26 years old. He's a wide receiver one. This guy can get separation with the best of them. He is a wide receiver one. He's not going to be playing this week, obviously out with concussion, but he could be a long-term fix that Albert Breer has lamented to. It's a guy that really, I think this team's missing. I know a lot of people think that Stephon Diggs and Kayshon Boutte are wide receiver ones. They're not. Kayshon Boutte is a nice number 2. This is a 6th-round draft pick. Yes, he showed promise when he was at LSU, but he's not. I don't think he's that same receiver. I don't think he has that same explosiveness. And Stephon Diggs is not even 1 year removed from his ACL injury, if not close to 1 year removed. So, and he's 32 years old. So I don't know if those are long-term answers. So why not go maybe get a Kayvon Thibodeau or a Nico Collins?
I'm with that. I personally feel that if we can address the defensive side, the offensive side will tend to take care of itself. So I when people ask why I always prioritize defense, it's because we've seen where defenses legit won Super Bowls, i.e., unfortunately, 2007, 2008. A front line with Justin Tuck, Usium Yura, Michael Strahan, and JPP, right? They, for some reason, continued to just obliterate the offensive line to get to Tom Brady. That tells me, as great as you expect an offense to be, if you're asking me who I will build a team around between Brady or Eli, it's clearly going to be Brady. If you're asking me if I would prefer any of our receivers over Armani Toomer, it's going to be any of our receivers. You know what I'm saying? But they made it work because they played offense by defense. Keep the best player on the field on the sidelines. If we want to have any shot, whatever quarterback we're going against, we're going to have to keep them sidelined. We're going to have to control the time of possession by saying, you know what, let's keep our offense out there and get some slow, steady 10 to 12 drives, 5 to 6.5 minute drives to sustain. But as far as defense, I do think Kayvon Thibodeau is the way to go. I like what they're doing with Brian Burns and with Abdul Carter, but they showed that they've only played together all on the field at the same time, 57% of the snaps. So what is the issue when you have a ridiculous front seven like that and your coach cannot seem to muster up the idea behind putting them all in the box at the same freaking time? It makes no sense to me. So if you're not going to use them all together or collectively, get rid of one of them and send them to us.
I'm with it.
I'm also, I want to hear your thoughts quickly. I was one. I live in Detroit, right? Grew up, born and raised in Detroit. I just love Willie McGinnis since 1996. So I grew up a Patriots fan since 96. It's always been that way. It's always going to be that way. No disrespect toward the Lions. I just love the Patriots. They play each other. I'm going for the Pats 10 times out of 10. So I love defense. Jabril Peppers, we followed him closely because all of my family, aside from me, I'm a Spartan dog. My family all went to Michigan. So I followed Jabril Peppers closely. I am still frustrated now when I look at the injuries that started to take place in the secondary. I'm like, you needed that rover. You needed someone that could legit be a freaking chameleon. You don't always need that box safety, right? Sometimes you just need somebody that can attack downhill, shut down the run, or make quarterbacks hesitate before scrambling. And you know who thrived at that? Jabril Peppers. At times, we just needed a DB that wasn't afraid to go after the top receiver. And do you know who almost ended Devontae Adams' career? It was Jabril Peppers. So aside from the front line, are there any other positions? Because for me, it's secondary. Are there any other positions on the defensive side that you would like to see more depth added to?
Man, we definitely need safety. And it does hurt to losing Jabril Peppers, but I think it has more to do with culture because it seems like Mike Vrabel has shipped out every single captain there is.
Yeah, that's true.
And it doesn't and it doesn't help that Jabril Peppers had all these off the field issues. He's concerned probably more with his rap career. I mean, he's a rapper now. And obviously with that look, that one hurt. He's a high quality player. He's a damn good player. And I think, yeah, we need safety help immensely. I think our linebacker depth, I mean, I like Jelani Tavai. I think Spillane has come on. But, I mean, we need help at that level as well. I think our defensive tackles and our edge are doing well. I mean, Harold Landry and Kayvon Thibodeau, not Kayvon Thibodeau, Chase on.
Oh, Chase, yeah, Caleb on
actually
Chase on,
are actually like 15th and 17th in terms of win rate at their positions. So they're winning at the point of attack, but it's just that like we need a little bit more consistency, and I think that we need a guy that kind of be a difference maker. So edge is definitely a point of interest, as well as safety. I think are the biggest I guess needs, because I'm not really, even if we were at full strength at safety, I don't know how I feel about Hawkins. I mean, and Woodson, he's still relatively young, and he's still figuring things out. So I think we're kind of weak at those positions. So obviously we could get by with edge at what we're at, but safety definitely is a point that we have to make an emphasis on. And I just don't know I haven't really done too much digging who's out there that may be on an expiring contract to go after. But I mean, obviously, if you were going to go through the draft, you're going to go get that kid at Ohio State if you could possibly get Caleb Downs. If somehow you're even in striking distance of him, because I don't know how many teams are like safety needy teams. Maybe get a Caleb Downs in the offseason if you can't really rectify that position now. And if you can rectify any position, maybe get Kayvon Thibodeau at edge just to, I guess, solidify that position for right now.
Yeah, I'm interested in what our trade stock or capital is going to look like because I wouldn't mind moving up if, like, when we got Gonzo at 17, if we're looking and picks 12 to 15 are here, obviously quarterbacks are always going to be high on demand, even though this is a very crappy quarterback class,
Yeah, but
as the games are proven.
we say that, but then teams like the Giants and all these other people were still going and getting the Jackson Dart. So it's not how we perceive this quarterback class, it's how teams perceive this. Because I mean, I wasn't reaching up for like a Jackson Dart. I didn't think he was that great. I think he played pretty damn good. I think he's got too much of an ego, and he's finding that out firsthand. Maybe that Denver Broncos losses was humbling to him. But we don't know how the teams are evaluating quarterback talent. And there are honestly, like, really, if you want to be honest with yourselves, there's only like maybe 10 great quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Good quarterbacks in the NFL right now.
Oh,
So
100%.
teams need quarterbacks. And
100%.
or
The reason why I made that statement is because if we want any shot at getting a Caleb Downs, which who I truly want, we're gonna have to hope that some of these quarterbacks light up the charts so that teams are moving up to grab them. If what happened with Shador or Tyler Shuck or any of these other guys who were somewhat quote unquote coveted end up slipping down, that means that you're gonna start taking different positions, which means the likelihood of us getting a top tier player in the mid late round, which is something we want. I am not someone that thrives off having top 10 picks every freaking year. Let's get away from that, from praising and celebrating that. Let's get back to the fact that we were playing hard-nosed ball. We used the picks that we have. Belichick even had to go a slump where he didn't have many picks because of the whole scandal, and we still managed to make it to Super Bowls and win them. So I don't want to put so much stock in having to go up to move to get players. I don't believe personally that there's anybody that I would trade up to get. I'm hoping that somebody slides down far enough to where if we need to say, you know what, a day two pick that we likely aren't going to use, we can move up and get them. But man, from what you see right now, even with all of the hiccups on both sides of the ball, even with the slow start, right, even with truthfully looking at our schedule, knowing that the Pittsburgh Steelers should have been a win. So we look at our schedule, we should be 6-1 instead of 5-2. But man, what can we do to keep this momentum moving forward?
I think it's just keeping the turnovers down. And that's just, I mean, Drake May keeps on performing at this level. I mean, look at the damn numbers. He has, I mean, this is one stat. Where is it at? He has more touchdowns of over 20 yards than incompletions. He has 5 touchdowns of over 20 yards and only 4 incompletions. That's insane. His
Yikes.
PFF grade for deep ball. I know that people say that. I think I've seen on PFF that or some page that said, "Oh, this guy's the best deep ball passer." Not as far as his numbers go. He's number one. He has a 99.9 for deep ball PFF grade. He's the first quarterback in NFL history in 5 games with a completion percentage of over 80 within 2 career seasons. Number one in EPA. Number two in EPA per dropback. Number one in completion percentage over expected. Number one in completion percentage. Number two in yards per attempt at 8.6. He's not only passing the ball deep, he's also yards per attempt. People want to say, "Oh, this guy's a check down. This guy's a check down." He doesn't look. Our wide receiver group is good. It's not great, and yet he's averaging the second highest yards per attempt. He's tied for sixth in touchdowns, tied for second in interceptions thrown. 2 interceptions. That's incredible. Number one, tied for first in passer rating, eighth in passing yards, all while being the second most sacked quarterback in the NFL. That's crazy.
Yeah.
PFF ranks his offensive line 22nd. Rushing. He's fifth in rushing yards. He's third in rushing yards for first downs among quarterbacks. He's number one in rushing third down percentage among quarterbacks. He's tied for fourth in rushing touchdowns. This kid is incredible. He's doing this while being the second most sacked quarterback. And like he doesn't have a wide receiver one, and his run game, I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. We can't say, "Oh yeah, he has a run game now," off of one game.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a run game. He's doing all this. Superman is putting the cape on, and he's making it happen without this. This should scare the living hell out of everyone. He's 23 years old, performing at the level he's performing, without a wide receiver one and without a semblance of a run game, while all being the second most sacked quarterback. I don't know if I answered your question because I just went on a Drake May tangent. He's special. This kid is freaking special. I'm getting animated because I was one of the first few people last year while we won 4 freaking games that said this guy was the top 5 quarterback. He was going to be a top 5 quarterback. Actually said within the next 3 years he was going to be the best quarterback in football. And let's be honest with ourselves. Go look at the damn numbers. Mahomes is not going bar for bar with him. I could go and send you the damn graphic. Drake May's ahead of him in a lot of metrics. A lot of metrics, but he's the odds-on favorite, right? Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit. It's a popularity contest. Put some respect on his name. He went into Buffalo, who hadn't lost 15 straight home games, and said, you know what? Hold my beer. I got you. At 23 years old, doing what he's doing. Come on. I'm sorry. Like I'm getting animated. I love this kid. And he's humble. He said, I still left some passes out there. You can the thing about him and he broke a Tom Brady record too, 91.3%.
Yeah.
Tom Brady played 22 years in the NFL. The thing that should scare the NFL, he's nowhere near his ceiling. That's scary.
Correct.
No wide receiver 1, no run game, decent offensive line. I say decent. I think they're doing good. He averages about 2.83 average throw time, and I think a lot of that probably has to do with his legs. But he's doing what he's doing without like top tier talent, without all these things. It should really scare them because even Sean McDermott said, I hope that they trade him out of the division. Well, Bills fans, I hate to break it to you. Daddy's home. Daddy's home. We went to get the milk. We came back.
Yeah.
And now we're back.
I've seen
all these Bills fans puffing their. I'm sorry for cutting you off. I've seen all these Bills fans for puffing up their chest about how they have, and that they're going back based off that they basically said, oh, we know that based off the history that we're going to be able to do this. You have 5 years of success. That's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, certain teams' windows are closing while the Patriots is steadily opening. It's opening faster than anybody would have ever expected. I personally can attest to the fact that it took a minute for me to grow into who Drake May truly was until I actually went back and watched the ACC. I did not watch a lick of the ACC because for the longest it was just Clemson and nobody else, right? So I had no idea the gem that Drake May was. So when everybody started considering him a top 5 QB in the draft, I was one that was like, that doesn't sound about right. The same North Carolina that produced Mitchell Trubisky and Sam Howard, I'm not that necessarily convinced. But I went back and I said, wait, he finished with 45 touchdowns. He finished the season with 38-7 when Jayden Daniels won the Heisman with 40-10. You had 5 less touchdowns than a Heisman Trophy winner, and nobody's batting an eye about you. And Jayden Daniels had 2 wide receivers who were both taken in the top 25, and Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. And you had Devontae Walker, who wasn't taken until day 2 or day 3. I said, okay, it's time for me to start putting respect on his name and looking. And when I actually went by the numbers and watched what they said he needed to work on when he actually worked on it, to your point about the humility, I do think Drake May, being as young and poised as he is, should scare the entire conference, not just the division, but the entire AFC, because it won't be long before the road is back going through Gillette. And I'm not saying that as a homer, I'm saying that by the facts. And the facts are, to your point, he's doing all of this without a steady run game. For so many teams, you got like the Ravens where it's the opposite, where you have such a strong run game. You have a quarterback and a running back who both rush for 1,000 yards that they're going to press up. They're going to stack the box. The safety is going to roll down right there. Those linebackers are going to scrape. So now you can toss it over top. Now you got a Zay Flowers. You got a Mark Andrews and an Isaiah Likely that you can hit. You got a Rashad Bateman. We are reverse engineering this thing. We have a quarterback that is as close to perfect as you can expect from a young up-and-coming star. So that should force all of the coverages to be backed up. That should start forcing DBs to say, we can't play press and run anymore. We can't just press bail. We have to start at 6-1 or 6-2. We can't keep playing inside coverage because we see Steph Diggs literally. That was one of the most beautiful catches I've ever seen in my entire life. In my 30s, when Steph Diggs waited until the absolute last minute to put his hands out to catch the ball up the sideline. So when I see this type of pass game with 0, and I repeat, 0 run game, a second-round running back who hasn't even gotten his bip wet, I say to myself, wait until this run game actually gets started because this pass game is going to make the draw that much more lethal. It's going to make QB draws. It's going to make trap. It's going to make jet sweeps. It's going to make counters. It's going to make misdirections. It's going to make it that much more sweet once we learn how to address the run game by forcing these defenses to start respecting the pass game.
And I know that you just brought up Zay Flowers, and I was just like curious. He's basically, I mean, 2026 is his last like real year for his rookie contract, and then they have a team option, obviously, because you're drafted in the first round. They have a 5th-year option. This is pretty much a contract year for him. Why
Yeah.
not go get a guy like Zay Flowers that can really be a separator? The guy that out of Boston, ooh, jeez, that accent came out. Um, a guy out of Boston College that like I really wanted, and he can be a difference maker. I think he would fit literally perfectly in this scheme.
Yeah, I wouldn't be against it. I think as much as I like the idea of a big body wide receiver one, I just want somebody that's not afraid to go make the damn play. I don't care about height, size, anything like that. I care about your agility, your versatility. I care about your vertical. I care about your hands. I care about your shiftiness. I care about if you know how to find sweet spots. I don't like guys that run their route and aren't aware of the sticks. It's 3rd and 7. You run a 5-yard stick. Okay, can you extend it 2 extra yards because you know where the play needs to be? When Pop Douglas did what he did, to me, I'm like, that's sensory awareness. You need somebody that knows, I know this route calls for 3 yards, but I'm going to take that extra step. I know this route calls for 12. I don't need to go 12. I can hook it. I can legit curve it off around 7 or 8 and still make the play. I know he's playing zone, so I'm going to get him as far off of me as I can before starting my comeback route. If he wants to keep going, I'm going to take him out 15 before I cut back to 12. Like, I need guys that have that type of awareness. Zay Flowers has it. We just haven't seen it in Lamar Jackson. Not because he's not capable, it just hasn't been necessary. So yeah, I'm with that. But you talk about Drake May, right? We've talked about a few guys on the defensive side, Landry, Calevon, right? Who, if anybody, whether it's a coach or a player, we can end here. Who are you most impressed with up to this point with the Patriots?
I mean, and I've been very, very critical of him because I mean, like if it was 3rd and 10, it was a screen. If it was 3rd and 2, it was a misdirection run. We have to really give this guy his flowers. Josh McDaniels has revolutionized his whole way of running an offense. I can't look at his offense now and be like, yeah, I know what he's going to do next. I don't. I can't. Like before, when he had Tom Brady, when he had Mac Jones, with all due respect to those guys, very limited in their ability because those are guys that are pocket passers and that's about it. With and we've seen a little bit of that with Cam Newton. Cam Newton was at the point of his career where his shoulder was shot and he really couldn't make the throws that he was in outside of that Seattle game. Now that he has Drake May. The playbook is pretty much like there's not a blade of grass that Drake May can't throw the football. And
Yeah.
and with his poise and everything, it just makes it that much better. So Josh McDaniels really needs to get his flowers. Like I said, I was been very critical of him, but like this guy is I don't even think he's tapped into the potential of what this playbook can do because we haven't seen trick plays.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen, and that's probably a little bit to do with our offensive line still kind of being relatively young. I think Jared Wilson's playing out of position. I think he's truly a center, but we will address that. But I think Josh McDaniels 100% has went above and beyond what I expected, and I'm actually happy with what he's done so far, and I just think that we're only scratching the surface.
I'm glad you went coach's route. I'm also going to coach route. I'm going with Vrabes. I got an honorable mention, but right now I am thoroughly impressed with what I'm seeing with Mike Vrabel doing. And I mean this wholeheartedly that I'm grateful we didn't get him last year. If we did, we wouldn't have gotten Will Campbell because we would not have had that top pick. So I'm grateful that we were able to make some serious addressing with, unfortunately, giving somebody a position last year that just had no business being a coach. I mean, you see guys get promoted from positional to coordinator, like what the Lions just did. They promoted Kelvin Shepard, the linebackers coach, to defensive coordinator, and he is playing lights out. I would have expected him to get promoted to defensive coordinator because truthfully, he might still be there now, given that him and Vrabes played together. So I would have loved to have seen him moved up. But the fact that we have Vrabes now, I can't be anything short of impressed because you talk about Drake May being calm and poised. he's following the leader. Braves are setting the example for him to emulate. And when I see someone that remains calm, when I see someone that doesn't throw his players under the bus, when I see people can think it's corny, but we know personally that there have been coaches that do not take the time to greet every single 53 people as they go into the game saying, good job. Even if you didn't play, you stayed ready, you were on the sideline, you were locked in, and I appreciate you for that. When I see a coach that's that fired up, that's that locked in, when as a head coach, you still have to step down and play co-defensive coordinator. We're still praying for Terrell Williams. He did not expect to have to do as much as he's doing, but with the fact that he is as lights out as he has been with this defense, with so many questions that people had, so many people were wondering, why did you focus on the defense so much? This is why. This is why you have a Trey Henderson that may have had 2 or 3 touches in the last game. And while people are pissed off, I'm like, for what? We still won. All that proved was that we're able to win without actually going deep into our playbook. We don't have to open up our arsenal and show the Buccaneers or the Ravens games that are going to matter, the Bills the second time around. We don't have to show these guys much of anything. When they watch our film, they are not going to see a deep bag right now. To your point about Josh McDaniels, the fact that he's doing this much with the little, I'm seeing the same thing with Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel is saying, look, that's your offense, run it. I'm going to talk to Drake May. You talk to literally everybody else. I'm going to get this defense in order. I'm going to make sure that we are getting our stops. I'm going to make sure that we stay locked in. If any guys make mistakes, they're going to own up to it. I just see a guy that truly has the locker room's ear, their eye, and their heartbeat. Like he truly wants this team to win. And that's why I nominated Vrabel.
I mean, this is a 2021 Coach of the Year. I just think it goes to show you how much in shambles and how much like illy ran that organization. I mean, they fired a coach that I mean, Vrabel has won in 7 games, more wins than Brian Callahan had done being there
in 2 years, in a year and a half.
Yeah, pretty much. Like it's that. And especially with how like she basically deflected responsibility in terms of firing Mike Vrabel, I'm happy that we put on beat time. And honestly, like Mike Vrabel kind of handled that with class because let's be honest with ourselves, I think we kind of took our foot off the gas pedal against them, and didn't beat them by like 40 because I think that there was some meat on the bone.
We for sure did. And I'm glad that you acknowledged it because I feel the exact same way. I didn't see us not hanging a 50 ball in their head until I realized, okay, for Vrave, this isn't necessarily personal, but it's personal. So I'm going to cut you, but it's going to be the dagger. I'm going to stab you, but I'm not going to twist the knife because there's no need. You're already going to bleed out. You guys are going to seriously regret what you did. And I did expect more fight from Tennessee, truthfully, because, you know, a lot of interim coaches, they have that fire. They have something to prove. They're like, hey, I was 1 seat over. You want to bring somebody else in? No, you can keep me. So I really expected more given all of the stakes that were on the line and that it was a home game for Tennessee. I expected so much more. But, man, Rob, thank you so very much for your time. I want to give you just the opportunity to let people know what all you got going on. You can give them all of your handles so they can follow you. Tell them how they can reach you.
All right, y'all. So obviously, like I'm on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere pretty much. If you go and use my tag right there, pretty much it was Patriots, but instead of the T at the end, it's a 7. Been doing this for 8-9 years. Yeah, it's pretty much that. I just hit 33K today, so and I'm really grateful for the opportunity even to be able to do podcasts or be put in such a highlight because I don't value myself to like that. I just think I'm just like everybody else. I just happen to have a following.
You do, man. I appreciate you. Before we get up out of here, the last thing I'm gonna mention, I'm gonna post it right here. Everybody has been asking me about this amazing hat. I regret to inform you, this is a 1 of 1. This is my personal hat, but I got something eerily close that's coming. So I'm gonna need y'all to stay tuned. There will be a limited stock. There will be a pre-order. So if you want more information on a pre-order, I'm gonna have the link here, but just DM me the word PATS, all capital PATS. DM me the word PATS so I can put you on the wait list so we can give you all the information you need for the hats. And the first 25 people that do it, I'm going to insert you into a raffle to win a free Drake May jersey. You heard it right. I am giving you a free Drake May jersey to one of the lucky 25 first people that sign up. So do yourself a favor and go ahead and sign up. Next thing, first, I'm like you. I'm all over the place right now. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. Like, if you really enjoy what you heard, please do us a favor. Leave a comment, rate, review, and subscribe. That's how we keep growing, and that's how we keep bringing you the best football content out there. Until next time, it's been T.Smith and Mob with Patriots content, all things Pats. Y'all stay locked in, all right?
Let's go.